I am all set.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody? Excellent. Okay.
I got my hammer.
There it is. I love it. I love that hammer. That's great. You keep that close by. We're going to want that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again at Final Fantasy Crystal Legend. Once again, if this gets posted online, my name is Neil at theLimitBreak, and I will be your Dungeon Master. In the top right-hand corner of your screen is Ki Mihgo, White Mage Extraordinaire. Bottom left-hand corner is Captain Montigue, a Sky Pirate Red Mage of Daring Do. And in the bottom right-hand corner is Gillian Guado, half-hume, half-Guado Dark Knight, bringing lots of violence and pain to a lot of our adversaries. Last time that we played this game, our heroes had taken up a quest by the Wild Rose, the new company that they have been hired by or have volunteered for, more correctly, to perform a guard duty type thing on a train. That Bastok Savings Loan has a shipment coming in from Onrak. They are riding the train back from Onrak, this armored car, and they are besieged by two thugs on Chocobo back that have caught up on their train, just like the Wild West, and a third gentleman who had disguised himself as a brakeman. We left in the middle of combat, just to remind everybody where we are all standing. There's a gentleman with a long sword who is a bad guy. He's a villain, and he's attempting to disconnect the engine car from the fuel car. There is a white mage Mithra who has fortified herself within the confines of the armored car and is standing in between any would-be thieves and the treasure, and the locked door to the treasure. And on the outside of the armored car, going back to forward on the starboard side, is Captain Montigue. There is a villain who is a villain who has a short sword that is under the effect of a haze spell. There is our actor friend, and last but not least in the front of that is Gillian Guado, our Dark Knight. And I end with you, Gillian, because it is going to be your turn. Welcome to episode 2, No Getting Off of This Train We're On. Gillian Guado, it is your turn. The actor gentleman is the guy that you damaged, but you had made mention that you might want to provoke an attack of opportunity to leave him and go take care of the car disconnector. Is that still the case, or do you have a new plan?
I'm still standing firmly by my impulsive decision of get off of my train, stop touching my things.
All right,
yeah.
Well, that's fine, and you'll be able to catch up with this guy in the front. But before you do, as you turn your back to the guy you just brained, he's going to attempt to stab you with the daggers in his hand. And your armor class is 16, I believe? Is that
yes,
right?
it is, sir.
Then he has missed you as you have taken off. So now you are on your movement up to the front. You can reach this guy. Tell me what it is that looks like you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and cleave him because it's not even like I'm just not okay. I gave them the option of going away. I just really, really wanted them to not touch the train. So I made myself clear would be intimidating and scary. I don't understand why he didn't just bugger off.
It's true. You did warn them with your face and your giant scythe. So, yeah, if you'd like to make an attack roll, then go ahead and make an attack roll. It would be 1d20, and then it would be plus your melee attack bonus. Yeah, that would be a hit.
Yeah.
Isn't that technically a critical?
That's a
no.
sub-critical.
19.
Yeah. So it's not a critical hit because you didn't roll a natural 20, but that's okay because you still totally scored a hit. So go ahead and roll damage for that. The next thing that happens, that guy that missed you, Gillian Guado, he's also gonna hightail it after you because he saw you fleeing down up the train toward his buddy and take a big chunk out of his brain. And so he's gonna attempt to stab into your back as well again. Now that he's been chasing you. So that is also a miss. You got a good armor class.
I'm all speed and strength.
So yeah, now the gentleman who's working on disconnecting the car, he's been rattled now by your hit, and you've kind of like knocked him off to the side, and it's interrupted what it is that he's doing. And he's got his longsword with him, and he's able to sort of pick it up and also sort of make a swipe from a sort of upwards angle at you, to try to get you from the front side. And while he's doing this, he's telling the actor friend, the gentleman with the daggers, "You said this wasn't gonna happen. You totally said this wasn't gonna happen, and it's happening." He has scored a hit on you, Gillian. Let's see.
Fair.
I'd like you to please take 5 points of damage.
Ouch.
All right. Captain Montigue, we are up to you, sir. You are still on the armored car, and there is a gentleman still there with you. He's under the effect of haze, and you are under the effect of sanctuary, but you can break that at any time.
I'm not going to break that yet. I'm going to cast another spell.
Okay.
Hidden Diplomacy.
Hidden Diplomacy. Tell us about Hidden Diplomacy.
All right. Hidden Diplomacy. As part of casting the spell, you attempt a single immediate skill check to blah, blah, blah. If you succeed, the target assists you normally.
Okay.
But Hidden Diplomacy clouds the memory of any threats or pressure you applied. Basically, I get to talk him into doing what I want through diplomacy. And he doesn't know why he's doing it.
Okay. I'm hip to that, so it's an Intimidate skill check. Go ahead and roll for an Intimidate skill check. And I think, does he get a will save? He does get a will save, will negate, so I'll roll for that while you're doing that. Yes, that is successful, and he's failed his will save. So tell me what this looks like then.
Okay. Basically, I'm just going to be like, listen, buddy, this isn't going to work out for you. I think you already know that. What? You know, it's probably safer if you just jump off the train right now.
I mean, the train's moving along at a pretty good click. He did fail his will roll. So, all right. So, yeah, he's kind of unsure of himself, and he's looking around a little bit, and he sees the ground moving really quickly, and he thinks to himself, well, I suppose it's better this than nothing. And there's some like soft kind of bushes coming up on ahead, and he just kind of tucks and sort of rolls into the bushes off the train and into that in an attempt to keep himself mostly safe. So he is gone then. He's no longer here.
And the train goes on without him.
Ki Mihgo, you are in a defensive stance inside this armored car. You're very well defended, and you're freaking out if memory serves.
Yeah, I'm kind of panicking. There's a lot of sounds. There's a lot of stuff. I'm kind of like, like one does in much worry. How much of what's going on outside do I really hear?
You are fully aware that there are people in combat outside. You touched Captain Montigue, of course. You saw out the window, and you saw all the bad guys. I suppose maybe and there's windows. I could say that you've seen the dude jump off the train.
Okay.
So you should be pretty up to date. You don't know exactly where Gillian is and what she's doing with her crowd, but they're out there somewhere.
Well, since I don't hear any cries for help, I am going to remain fortified and defer any maneuvers.
Sure. Yeah, you can jump in at any time you'd like to go. Xilianr, your turn.
Sweet.
So you're flanked now. You got a guy in front of you and a guy behind you, and the one in front of you.
In front of me successfully hurt me, so he has my attention.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue hurting him.
Okay. Tell me, what does this look like? To paint us a picture in the theater of our mind. Write us a story.
I think it's going to be. I figure it's going to be sort of this cleaving motion, trying to knock him into the wall of the train as much as possible, so that it's doubly, like, it's not just I'm hurting you, it's I'm really, really annoyed that you tried to touch this component of the train through motion and action and ire.
Okay.
I think that's where I'm going with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Buttons. That is a successful hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
All right.
So you end up cleaving and sort of like hitting him into the train car, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's my goal.
Yeah, boom. So you do that. You successfully slice him and sort of drag his body into the train car, and he hits off of that with a good amount of impact as well, and it kind of knocks him to one leg. He's still alive, but he's really having a bad day right now, and he's still to his friend is like, "You promised this wasn't going to happen. You are so bad at this. I am so bad at this too."
I am slightly curious if I hear this this discourse.
You hear people shouting. I don't know if it's enough for you to make out what they're saying for sure, but there are two cars ahead of you, and you're in a locked, closed off room with closed windows. Yeah, but you do hear shouting. You do hear people shouting with each other.
Okay.
So the guy with the daggers is now going to attempt to attack Gillian again, since he's like, "Stop hitting my friends!" That is definitely a miss. And the gentleman with the longsword is kind of considering his options as well. And in sort of desperation, he's going to run up to the front of the train car to kind of go towards the conductor. But doing so provokes an attack of opportunity from Xilianr. So could you please once again roll to hit? Because he's going to try and make an attack on the conductor now. He's got his sword drawn, and he's going to kind of lunge for the conductor, who is minding his own business at the moment.
Picking on people around me.
Definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll for damage, please.
Now I just feel guilty.
Well, no, he went. This is exactly what you said. He's lunging for the conductor, and that was exactly what you were trying to avoid.
Oh boy.
Woo! Okay, yeah, he is. So he's down. So he goes to lunge for the conductor, at least towards that car, and you just mid-air kind of grab him with the end of your scythe and drag him down to the ground, and he's just lifeless. As soon as he hits the ground, he's out. And so that is all of that and what happens there. Key, would you like to do anything different?
No, I'm a kind of, since I still hear wrestling and yelling and I don't hear my teammates' voices, I'm kind of just, I'm twitching those ears. I'm doing the kitty ear swivel.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just use as much of my perception as possible.
Yeah.
To make sure things aren't going south.
No, things are going, everything's coming up Millhouse right now.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be the rock and the pillar.
Yeah, build your house on solid ground, not sinking sand, right?
That's right.
Captain, it is your go.
I'm going to go try to give the guy that ran away to go fight Gillian.
Yeah.
I'm going to go give him a sword enema.
A sword enema. All right. So yeah, you can make it up there in one combat move. So we'll do that. That is a hit. So enema indeed. You have successfully pierced this gentleman from a height of about 3'9". So You don't have a strength modifier, do you? You do not. So 6 plus 1, which is your base attack bonus. So that's 7 damage. All right. So yeah, so you end up piercing this guy in his rump. You get him right in the meat. And that is a super unpleasant feeling because you can feel it like like you're not getting it in the hole necessarily. It's not a hole in one, but you're creating a second one, shall we say? You've created a second hole.
I've given him a piercing.
Yeah, it's super unpleasant for him. This is also normally, just for the record, a place where you would recharge one of your points, one of your what you call points.
I'm already full though.
Yeah, you're full, but were you
Yeah.
to have used panache, you would have gotten an additional one. So yeah, so he's also now quite a bit hurt, and he's feeling that pain quite a bit. It is Key's next to go in the order, but if you're sticking around, Gillian Guado, just one guy left.
How bad does he look?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's about a 4. Yeah.
And I'm
3 or
correct.
4.
This is the conductor guy, the brakes guy.
This is the actor. Yeah, this is the guy who was
Okay.
dressed up as the brakeman.
I would love to have just a bit of a word with him because I can tell that he's the person that came on the train with us, and he's now basically alone in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really love to find out who it is that is trying to rob our train, if it's just them, and if it's really worth it at this stage, or maybe he should just bail. Like, it's not a good plan. We aren't happy about this.
All right, what do you say to the guy?
Look, guy, I don't want to have to cleave you in two, but obviously I'm capable of cleaving you in two. How about you just get out of here? Unless, of course, your boss won't let you, at which point I will take it up with him about all of this, and you can still just go.
Lady, either you kill me or she does. Either way, it's gonna be till death do I part.
You could have just joined your friend.
I was going to be nice about this. Now, before I actually knock you off this train, who is she?
So with the who is she, his face, which initially was gruff, like he was getting right up in your face, he was like saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to kill me." Once you bring her up, he's thinking to himself, "You know what? Maybe this job isn't quite worth the death of another. Maybe this job is maybe not worth it." And he says, "Look, I joined the Broken Hearts Guild for money and fame. And right now, we've got neither. I'll tell you what. If you let me walk away from this, I can put in a very good word for you. And the Broken Hearts Guild will welcome you with all kinds of open arms should you ever come to Limsa.
Why would I want to join your thieves guild?
It isn't a join so much as having friends in a place like that would be beneficial."
Why would I want to be friends with you?
It's not that kind of friend. This actually sounds like a good deal.
We aren't robbing the train. We don't want...
No, we're not robbing the train. We're saving the train. We're just making friends in low places, which can come in handy later.
Fine. But still, who is she?
Still a good question.
The leader of the Broken Hearts Guild. I've never met her, but I understand she's very powerful. Her name is LeBlanc.
Noted.
I
You
think
may
this
jump off the train now.
So he's taking a look around. He says, at full speed?
It worked out good for the
I
other.
can make it hurt less.
So he, as well, also looks for sort of a soft patch to sort of tuck and roll, and also ends up rolling his way off the train. So there we go. That's the end of our combat section for this round. Congratulations, everybody. Excuse me. Exactly. Feel free to do any victory dance. And with this, when the guy rolls off the train, the conductor comes back and says, "Is that all of them? Thank you so much."
Yeah. About it.
I had no idea who that guy was. He didn't even, I'd never seen him before, but I don't know. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Wait.
So who's your usual break guy?
No, they just give us people.
Your system
Tell
is
them they should check that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree. Great. So on the gentleman who is, dead,
The only one that's still on the train.
the only one that's still on the train, you find 75 gold pieces. Find 75 gold pieces. And he is dressed in leather armor, if you want to take that. He had a short sword, which you can take as long as you are medium-sized. Gotcha.
Well, that would be a long sword to me.
Yeah. No, it'd be a big sword. So that's the loot on that guy. Anything else you guys want to do while you're on this train? There isn't much else going on.
So I'm still sitting in the back.
Yeah.
In my thing, like this.
It's gotten quiet, Key.
Oh, it's gotten quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, since it's gotten quiet,
So before the white guy comes, how much of the gold was there?
75.
75.
So once it goes really quiet, I'm
25 apiece. We'll give him a cut.
Once it goes quiet for long enough, I am definitely going to flick back open the window and kind of do that with my hammer. And then I'm going to poke my ears out. And then I'm going to poke my head out. And I'm going to do the kitty stare. I'll be like, "Is everyone okay?" I'm shouting into the wind.
All right.
Yeah, him. Her. It.
I am very female.
You are very feline.
It's true.
There's much fur. On a
There's
scale of 1 to 10, how fluffy is your tail right now? I need to know from an art.
So you cannot see my tail because I am leaning out of a window, but my tail is like bala brush.
Good to know.
And so checking and waiting for an answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, is everything okay?
We haven't answered her yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my share of the gold and hers over to her.
I'm gonna pocket.
See where this is going. So everything's cool. Here you go.
And I take money, and I'm like, oh, money! Praise Alexander for the gold. So wait, how much gold did I just receive?
25.
25 gold pieces.
5.
Okay. So I received that 25 gold, and I am super excited. And then once I receive that gold, I'm like, oh, tithings for Alexander and stuff like that. I'm super excited. Then I, since battle has happened and I see that everyone has done battle, I take great thanks for everyone. And then I'm going to stick myself back into the thing. I'm just going to vanish like Kitty does suddenly, back into my box. But instead of closing the window, I am going to take a minute to pray.
Like legitimately pray.
I'm actually going to D1D6.
Yeah, use your pray ability.
I'm going to do my pray, which suddenly throws out a large aura, which heals everyone for 3 hit points. After a few moments of praying, I stick my head back out, just enough, and I'm like, is everyone good?
I was good to begin with. I don't know what you mean.
I could go a little more, but I'm solid.
Of course, the moment someone is actually trying to ask for more, a priest of Alexandria would never refuse that. So I actually have a Cure Light Wounds. Gillian Guado has come up close enough to hand me cash. I believe I can do a kitty poke.
Definitely.
Where I put my hammer away and I go, nose boop. And while a Guado is a very large thing, I have the advantage of being sitting on a window. Or I'm leaning from a windowsill. So I nose boop Gillian Guado with a Cure Light Wounds. I heal for 6 hit points on top of the 3 from my prayer.
Fold up.
Nice. The train has no other unwanted or unregistered guests or any other problems between...
There's one problem.
Okay.
I used my haze.
Yeah.
I am grumpy about this.
Being in the conductor car, listening to the rant, ignoring it.
I am curious exactly how far away Captain Montague is from my window.
He's probably...
I'm still around the fuel car.
Yeah, he's probably a good 30 feet.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
I'm sad and pray to Alexander for him, or he is upset about something. And I do get that. And so I pray to Alexander to bring him joy and happiness.
That's what the haze spell was for.
Well, I don't know why he's upset, but...
So there are no other problems on the way back from Onrak to Bastok. As you pull into Bastok, it is evening now. It's evening relatively early in that town because it is in the shadow of giant Mount Colts, which faces west. So the sun disappears rather early. Comes up rather early too, to be fair. But it is now what they would call nighttime. It's still nice and warm because the sun is out somewhere, but it's beginning to become into the twilight of the evening as the train pulls into the station. As you get there and the train comes to a stop, you disembark and thoosh the high pillow ostensibly it is Thush Thush, is there with a couple of Galka who are unloading and unlocking and moving the chests and crates from their place in the armored car onto a cart, which...
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm in this cart, and I'm protecting this load. When these people come into this area to load this stuff, do I have any ways of verifying them, or I just assume they've got the key, so I'm cool with this?
Well, I don't know. Do you try to verify them, or do you just assume they have the key and you're cool with this?
My question is one thing that I don't recall is whether or not we were given any form of verification from the assignment.
I suppose they didn't have anything specific, although it did say on the charter Thush Thush the High Pellow, and he is there sort of supervising the event.
So when Thush Thush shows up and identifies themselves, I'm going to be like, and then I'm actually going to supervise them.
Oh, thanks you so much. We would not have been able to get this delivery without your help, Shishish. It was very, very nice of you. We are very thankful for your work.
I decide to just bow and then leave.
Gillian can verify that's how the High Pellow talk. So these Galka, they load their cart up with these chests, and they and Thush Thush travel off into the distance. As you come off the train activity is slowing down for the evening as it is becoming nighttime. The Bastok itself is the end of the line, and so trains kind of come here and they're finished up. Any train that comes here is finished up. They're not going through.
So after everything's unloaded, I meet up with my team, and I'm so excited to see them.
You could have been more help.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about how it all worked out.
Ear droop.
Ear droop.
I do an ear droop. I do not like being admonished by people half my size. So I'm fairly admonished about that.
I'm sorry, he's grumpy.
No, it's fine. So I ear droop and I apologize and bow and pray for forgiveness.
It's all right. It's all right.
And then after being forgiven, of course, I'm perk right back up, and then pray and joy. There's a theme here. And then I'm like, sounds like it's time to go collect our rewards. What say you guys?
I'm always down for a good reward.
So I am nearly skipping all the way back.
I'm going to try and run right between them because I know he ain't skipping. I'm going to keep as close to the cat as I can while still keeping my eye on him.
Skipping is not necessarily behooven of my stature and what I should be doing, but I'm super excited because I've just finished the first mission since I've left. You know, like the first big thing that I've done with the Wild Rose. And my first thing with the Wild Rose is just it came up all aces for key. So you know, I am super overjoyed. And of course, I'd like to actually take a roll of great perception.
Okay.
Because I would actually like to. Wow, I got it.
An 18.
Holy crap. So I got an 18 plus 3.
Okay.
And I'm looking for anyone along the road, along the path, who could just use a good prayer.
Well, it's funny because as you leave the street with the train, the street with the train station, Rail Street, and make your way onto Main Street. As you're going down your Rail Street, it's very quiet. There's really nobody out in the street on Rail Street, especially after dark. And it seems a little bit suspicious until you turn the corner onto Main Street. And on Main Street, you can see off in the distance, down by City Hall. City Hall's the biggest building in town, so it can be seen from all kinds of places, all kinds of distance. As you turn onto there, outside City Hall, there is one area in front of the building that's lit up with electrical light. It's not like there's tons of street lights, but there's electrical light posts and lamps and stuff in that area. And my tablet just went crazy with Discord messages. And under that electrical light is a party. And this is a right proper party. If there are 1,500 people who live in this town, there are probably 400 to 500 people outside of City Hall right now under these lights. And even as you're walking up from a distance, you hear music and you're seeing like carts, and there's people who are dancing. It is a legitimate, it's a good time. People are having a great grand old time. And so,
and Montigue perks up.
And so, yeah, it seems like everybody who is out at this time of day is all kind of coalesced into one spot. There isn't anybody on Rail Street that's looking for a prayer. But man, when you go to this party, you're going to find somebody who needs a prayer, I'm sure. I am certain of it.
So I look to my teammates with great expectation. And I'm not, you know what? I'm not even thinking about the fact that they might not think that this is a great opportunity for us for the same reason. But I look to them like, this could be our jam right now. We just
Let's go!
I've just got that look. I'm not even saying anything. I've just got that.
Montague's like, party!
Prayer. And so,
let's go.
So I am
You
now.
can probably run quicker than I can. Can you pick me up and carry me?
No.
So I, no lie, am going to find my way right into the middle of this big crowd of a party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I am having a blast. And no lie, right in the middle of this party, I am going to kneel and pray. And I mean like actually like cast pray.
All right.
I pray for everyone in a 30-foot distance.
Yeah.
To heal them for 4 hit points and offer all of Alexander's protections.
I am hip.
Because you know what? There's parties, people can get hurt, people might be on substances. And I'm okay with that. Alexander, as far as I know, doesn't have a drug policy. I don't think he's down with that. But I'm going to do that since I am hot out of detect evils and detect things. So I'm just going to pray. I'm going to pray for everyone's glory and protection and healing, because that's what a high priestess like Alexander does. And I sit here kneeling, praying the whole time.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go and try and keep an eye on the cat and an eye on him at the same time. And I am aware that this is going to be really hard to do.
Montague's going to go in and start dancing and hanging out.
Yeah. All right, man.
And see if there's a wayward mage that might cast haze on him.
there is all manner of festivity. There are carts of food, and food by different cultures. There is a Galkan cart where they sell sausages. There is an Albed cart where they sell fried rock. There
Wait.
is.
Do I smell fried rock?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
While I pray,
Mm-hmm.
my tail is doing like that really big twitchy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm totally praying and focusing on my prayer.
Mm-hmm.
My tail is saying something else, slightly else. My tail is very distracted.
There are grapes imported from Sandioria. There are all kinds of places, and they're all at different carts, and you can get them for super low cost. I mean, we're talking about just a few copper will get you a Galkan sausage or a bit of fried rock on a stick. There are
I'm gonna go buy a couple of fried rocks on a stick,
yeah
and then I'm gonna go find Key and give her one.
yeah oh
My prayer is interrupted by Captain Montague giving me fried rock, and I'm kneeling, so I'm kind of at his height, and so I give him a huge kitty hug, and then
Oh, so not a hugger.
and I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad, I apologize, and so I offer thanks, and then I offer thanks to Alexander, and then I live rock for a moment. Fried rock.
You said there were like 2 copper apiece.
yeah it's just a couple of copper apiece. There are, I mean, and there's song being played by bards. There's a group of 6 Mughals that are organized dance, and everybody else is disorganized danced, but they're all having a good time. And in fact, amongst everyone, and sort of in response to the AoE heal that has just gone out amongst the people, Mihgo has caught the attention of Derstrail, who is out partying with everybody else as well. She is enjoying the festivities, and she's chatting with a gentleman, a little he's a young man. He's probably about 15 or 16, and he's Hume. And as she's done speaking to him, he skitters off and goes into a building just off to the side of Town Hall. Another large building. It's probably the second largest building in town, and it's a shop. It's the only shop that appears to be open at this time of night. He scampers off into that doorway. Derstrail walks to Key and says, I see what you did there. I know a thing or two about healing. I appreciate that. We appreciate what you do here.
And then, of course, like I'm going to bow to Day, who is huge over me.
Oh, yes.
And a very impressive lady, but one I respect. And I'm like, Alexander's healing and protection needs to be passed along to all these people. And I'm just doing Alexander's work. I am showing humility here, although I'm pretty stoked to be thanked by Day.
How was the job? How did it turn out?
And now I am so exciteful to go. It went amazing. We saved everything. There was a casualty, but I suppose these things happen, I think. But there was no bad casualties. I mean, all casualties are bad. But we protected it, and they received their thing, and I just protected things. I'm not gonna lie. I just sat in a room and prayed, like you do.
And she says, sometimes when people do evil things, we need to use good to stop them. I spent a lot of my time early on in life, up to just about a year ago, living that exact mentality. And it's always sad to see when evil enters someone's heart and you have to remove them from the goodness of other people. But I'm glad to hear that it was a success, and we are very excited that you are here volunteering in this capacity.
I sit and drink every word.
This is I know that you are new to town. This is Vonkt Joe, and it is which you recognize because you speak Albed, right?
Yes, I do speak Albed.
Vonkt Cho you recognize as First Day.
And then, of course, just because I'm excited to show off to Day a little bit, I'm kind of starstruck because she's really elegant. She's experienced, and I've been raised to respect my elders greatly. So this is something where, like, I'm kind of honored. And so I actually I switched to speaking in Albed, which player does not actually speak Albed. But I do tell her, like, oh, really? I'm so excited. This is an amazing festival. And I actually tell her that in Albed.
Oh, very cool. She sort of smiles and kind of nods a little bit. She says, we do this the first day of every work week. We decide that in order for the work to be done, the miners who work in town, their job is dangerous and their job is very difficult. And we've discovered that they are more likely to be inspired to work if they begin their work week with a party.
I am so I'm just like, this happens every week?
Every week in the city of Bastok.
And I turn to the guys and I'm like, Bastok is amazing.
Agreed.
Yes. Okay.
She says, well, feel free to take in the festivities. It goes on until midnight, essentially. And that's when everybody starts to kind of pack it up. Junie and I are sitting over in that direction, and we're going to just be hanging out. You guys have a good time.
I am excited. So I don't really get lost in the festivities as much as some, but I definitely enjoy the fact that there's amazing food, and although I do stay more or less by my team, because I feel obligated to watch Captain Montigue alongside Gillian, just to make sure that no one gets hurt. And of course, I'm ever vigilant for someone who could use healing or protection, injuries or something like that. Although the party doesn't seem as wild as maybe.
No. Yeah, let's not be shy here. These are a bunch of blue-collared, sort of good old boys that work in this town. There's
probably a lot of ale going around.
Yeah, this isn't like party at Ned Flanders' house. It's a real party.
Okay.
But nobody seems to be causing a huge disturbance or injuring anybody.
Okay.
Anybody else want to add on to the festivities?
I'm just kind of bouncing around on different things I'm doing, dancing, trying food without paying for it.
unattended food and drink vanish in the proximity of certain people. We try not to think too hard about it.
Yeah, yeah. I am
just
the
stand
kind of
back,
person.
watching, making sure.
I am the kind of a kitty though. If I see him vanish food from a cart, I am the person. I am the one who will.
I wouldn't take it from a cart. Those are hardworking people.
Oh, okay.
But this is unattended food that somebody might have. They started eating, put down to talk to somebody, and it just kind of disappears while they're talking.
Free food.
Okay. He doesn't feel amazing about that, but on the other hand, she's not going to stop him. So.
Yeah, Montigue has morals. He's not going to steal from the hardworking people.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Okay. As long as nothing's being stolen from workers, she's just going to keep on keeping on and enjoy it alongside everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Just standing back, watching, making sure that like everyone's safe, everyone's good. Festivities aren't really my thing.
I'm going to offer Gillian some of whatever the last thing I tried was.
Thanks. I totally noticed where you got this from, by the way. But thanks.
They weren't using it.
All right. So
I'm more giggly than Gillian is. I should insert that.
Yeah.
I am more giggly than Gillian is.
All right.
I'm not more giggly than Captain Montigue is.
I'm exactly as giggly as Key is. Key might be slightly more bubbly.
All right. During the party, there is a voice that can be heard from behind our red mage, our partying, having a good time red mage, who says, "Oh, cut my legs off at the kneecap. It's the captain." Captain, you whip around and you see a Sikh. Now, a Sikh is, he's sort of like a anthropomorphic warthog type character. If you can imagine a sort of an anthropomorphic type of a pig. He's fat and he's sort of hunched over and he's got a big sort of snout nose that's sort of like sort of pressed flat. If we post this, I might have to put this up on there for them to see, but that is what a Sikh looks like. And he's sort of bluish and he's dressed a bit. He's also kind of dressed in leathers, and is kind of dirty and has a lot of sort of like soot and sort of powder and whatnot on him. And at first, you don't really recognize him, but as he's approaching you, he manages with one of his sort of claw hands to bump into a jug of ale that is sitting on a park bench table, and as he bumps it, it spills out and the liquid travels out and just like washes over about 4 people's plates worth of food. This causes him to become surprised, turn around very quickly, back into a Hume who is dancing, who then trips over their date, and both end up falling into the dirt. Smoke coming up from the ground, dust coming up from the ground, which causes him to spin around again and say, "Oh, I'm very sorry." And with this, you recognize him. This Sikh, his name is Andello, and he used to work on the airship that you used to work on.
Andello! What are you doing here, old man?
Oh, it's so good to see you, Captain. Captain Ferris, she left me at Midgar. I mean, when I think it was on accident, but you can never be sure. She had taken me away from the cannoneering position and put me in the galley, and then after I was in the galley for a few days, we stopped off at Midgar, and now the airship is gone again. I don't know why
That's a familiar story.
I don't know why she would leave. But yeah, Captain Ferris, she took off without me. What are you doing here? It's so good to see you. It's so good to see the captain.
Well, after the mutiny,
Which I feel bad about, by the way. You know, I always told all of the other boys, I never really thought it was right what we did to you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really like a member of the team who takes more than his fair share, but you didn't keep it, and that says a lot for somebody. I mean, it's not like you sold it and kept it all for yourself.
no. The orphans needed it more than us.
So, yeah. So after the mutiny, what have you been doing?
I've been here and there. Just recently, we went on a mission. Meet my friends. This is Key and Gillian.
I was like, it's amazing to meet you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to meet friends of the captain.
I am slightly piqued in ears and tail at the concept of mutiny, though. I don't ask, but I ask with my eyes.
I'm just sort of staring at the spilt ale and wondering what's going to happen with it.
Yeah. Oh,
And how no one is acknowledging it.
Oh no, none of you are acknowledging it, but there are plenty of people like trying to wipe this up and clean up the mess, and this guy with one sort of bump has led to a domino effect of about 15 or 20 people needing to clean up after him. And that was the thing that made Captain Montague recognize him, for the record.
Half here, half watching.
Yeah, he did recognize the fact that this was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I imagine that you must be the captain of a new ship now. Can I come work on your ship now?
I kind of have a ship.
Oh, Captain, you know how effective I was as a cannoneer. I mean, I was great loading up the cannons and carrying the cannonballs around and firing them at people. I was so good at all of that, and I know there were
There was a few accidents.
okay, admittedly there were a few accidents, but I mean, you don't judge a man by. There were only a few accidents, sir.
Well, I never took you off the cannons, did I?
No, you did not. You're a good man, Captain.
Unfortunately, there isn't space on my ship, on my new ship, to actually man a crew.
Oh, well, that's disappointing, sir. Are you gonna? And he kind of takes you aside a little bit and sort of whispers to you. He says, "Are you gonna go after Captain Ferris?"
That is the long-term plan.
Listen, Captain, I don't know exactly where she took the ship, which she's renamed, by the way. You'll want to keep your ears out. She's renamed the ship the Nirvana. But I understand that not only did she leave me behind, but she also left behind one of your navigators. We together, we thought that the mutiny was wrong to have been done for you.
I'm glad there were people on my side, even if you didn't speak up then.
But Riel the Elvan, she got left in Midgar too. She was thinking of finding work in Midgar. She might know a little bit more about where the ship might be headed to next. Yeah, Riel. Rielle.
Rielle.
If you're keeping score at home.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, this is my plot. I am all over these notes.
Yeah, no, that's I'm trying to incorporate this. So that's that. He says you should keep an ear out for Riel, and if you ever need me, I work at the Hammerhead, and he points at the big shop, the one that's still got light in the window.
At the Hammerhead, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You will be on the cannons again, my friend.
I'm very glad to hear that, sir.
All right. So I got to get back to my friends. He
turns and leaves, and as he turns, he also bumps into somebody else again. Thankfully, this a Galka who was quite a bit bigger, so Andello takes most of the punishment from that before scampering off back to the residential district. So that is that. Is there anything else that you all would like to do?
No, I think I have done all the prayer and protection that I could possibly do in this area.
Okay.
I'm probably actually partied out after that, because now I have more knowledge than I did about where my ship is.
Mm-hmm. Gillian?
Just policing them, basically.
Just policing them?
That's my fun thing, is just making sure.
All right. So you all party into, for just a normal amount of time until you all start to feel a little bit tired, like it's about time. And you know that the Wild Rose has helped you with a place to stay. There is a little sort of townhouse-like place inside the residential district that you make your way to. You were given the key before you left work today.
Awesome.
And so you make your way through the residential district and find the townhouse and open the door, and it's a really small kind of area, but there are 3 rooms, which is nice. You each get your own sort of little space, but the common area is not much to speak of, just a little kitchenette and maybe a little table for you all to sit at and chit chat. But for the most part, it's just a small place to live while you're working at the Wild Rose. Now, each of the rooms has a particular theme. One of them, they all have a plaque on the door as you are entering into the bedrooms. One of them is called the Cartographer, and inside it has a bed, but it also has a globe, and it has a couple of maps on the wall, and it has a compass rose, and it has an astrolabe, and it has like a protractor, and a sort of a little workstation for people who are map enthusiasts. The second room is called the Quartermaster, and the Quartermaster has a slightly larger bed, and it has a chest that is empty, and it has a couple of desks and dressers that are also empty, but there is tons of space for storing swag, should you have any swag to store. And the third one is called Administration, the Administrator. And the Administrator has a bed with a table, and the table on that has all kinds of documentation pertaining to the Wild Rose. It has like a user's manual. It has schedule. It has any kind of like any kind of thing pertaining to any kind of human resources question or any kind of payroll related activity is all kind of in in like a little file box that's on this desk. And there's also a plenty of blank paper, quills, inks of different kinds of types and models, and some books, just some general books. So I don't know if that interests any of you, if any of those rooms cry out to any of you.
So we get to pick, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm polite and I just don't pick first.
Mm-hmm.
I go directly to the cartographer's bed.
To the cartographer, okay.
Just gonna sort of like start walking back and looking at both of the rooms that are left. I'm just gonna like, you know me, I don't actually have a strong preference. Do you like one of these rooms?
And I'm like, oh, thank you. I would really like to go to the one about the white rose room, and so I go to that one.
The administrator. Okay.
Yeah, the administrator. So I can read all more about this charity or this group that we're working for and all the awesome deeds that they can do.
Mm-hmm. All right, Gillian, that leaves you with the quartermaster. Yeah, the quartermaster. Excellent. And so with that, you all go to sleep and have a long rest. So to our mages, if you would like to restore any of your spells or change any of your spells, now would be a great time to do that.
I would love to delete all of my variously used spells.
Gillian, you didn't take any points of burn, but normally this is where you would restore your burn damage from Soul Eater.
And I would get all of it back, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It would go back to Cap.
Exactly. Yeah. If you take a long rest, all of your damage from Soul Eater is restored. But that's the only way you can restore that damage.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was just a portion of it per rest or if it was all of it.
All of it per rest. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And then I know you guys, and this also would fill you guys up to full hit points as well. Morning, okay. Yeah, and then morning breaks. We've still got a little bit of extra time, so I suppose we can leave on a cliffhanger. So morning breaks. Do any of you have anything else that you would like to do before you go into work on your second day?
No, actually, you know what? Morning has broken.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore,
like the first morning.
Yeah. But like right before sun breaks, of course, I'm gonna go pray.
Oh, of course.
And as I remember, Bastok has a temple.
It does. Yeah.
So, I put on my vestments instead of my my leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
So just with my vestments, I leave my armor in my room and go over to the temple, like bright and early.
Yeah.
Like sun just cracking over, and of course, I'm gonna take the moment to pray, mm-hmm. And go through that experience where I meditate deeply in prayer and speak with the representative Alexander, and I accept, or I pray for my blessings, mm-hmm. and accept my blessings for the day. Let's see. Yes. So I'm going to, of course, go to the main altar. Mm-hmm. Give my thanks to everyone here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to head my way up to the main altar, mm-hmm. and then we'll kneel and begin praying deeply, meditating upon this.
Okay. Now the act of your transcendental meditation takes about 45 minutes to get from the physical plane, mm-hmm. to removing your soul from your body, having it traverse through the void and into the Esper world. And I've given you notes about this inside your book, so you kind of know how this works in terms of like, what happens if you're attacked in this position, etc. That's all labeled in your stuff, so we won't go through that.
Right, but I do meet with, if I'm correct, if I meditate for 45 minutes and I pass through this veil,
Yeah.
and then if I'm correct, I hope to meet with Kirin.
It's true. Yes. So your spirit enters into the gates of the great temple in heaven, or in the Esper world. You find yourself in sort of imagine a sort of a Colosseum, where it is you travel down from an upper level down into the ground floor, into this big area in the center, and there is seating sort of all around, and all around are the spirits of other people who are also praying. There are the spirits of people. Some of them appear just as sort of wisps, just as sort of fireflies. And these are people who aren't transcendentally meditating. They're just praying to Alexander. And so you see a person there who is wishing good health for their family, and a person there who is blessing their meal, and a person there, etc. And these sort of fireflies just sort of exist, and then they kind of fade away, but you remain constant. And as you walk down into the center of this great temple, you are surrounded by light, and you're surrounded by this overwhelming sense of goodness and calmness. This is a peaceful, it's a wonderful feeling. You feel centered and holy. And as you are there, rising up from from several of these wisps, they sort of all come together and coalesce and materialize into this enormous unicorn. She is probably 2 stories tall if she's a foot. And this unicorn is someone you've met before. It is Kirin the Great-Hearted. And she is the advocate for Alexander, your deity. She's regarded as a seraphim angel, essentially.
Yeah.
And she says to you, as she always says to you, "Grace and peace be with thee. Do not be afraid."
And I reply with praise be to Alexander.
He is the righteousness, thy master. The planets and heavens sing praises upon the holiest. He looks upon thee with favor and grants thee power in thou countenance to him. What hast thou to say today in honor to the one thou art devoted?
I give greatest thanks for all the blessings that he has bestowed upon me. And then I pause and just reflect in all the blessings that I had in the last day. And in that, I actually kind of just tell Kirin, I was like, yesterday I met with the Wild Rose and had great members of a party that I joined, that we formed. I was able to bring great health and prayer to those that I met. I met a young lady with geostigma that I was able to pray for. I was able to help guard a treasure for others. I was able to pray for the party goers. I met the most amazing people and was able to join with them and celebrate life with them and offer my healing and protection. And it was so amazing. And today I get to do it all over again. Praise be to Alexander.
Praise be to Alexander. Alexander be praised. Dost thou have anything to confess?
yesterday I was not able to protect everyone. And in our mission, we lost someone who was lost, and they died on my watch. That brings me sadness. They made bad choices, but unfortunately, I was not there to help correct them.
Let us meditate and pray together that thy path remain virtuous and good to the Most High.
And then I said, and I just meditate with Kieran at that point
Excellent.
and just reflect upon all the things that I want to accomplish today, which is mostly just praying for healing and protection for everyone that I possibly can.
Cool. Excellent. You get all your spells for the day.
Yeah.
We can fast forward that in the future, but it's good that we know what that looks like and what it sounds like and what you experience when you do that. And this is something that you do basically every day.
Any day that where it's
any day when it's plausible.
Like if I start a day and there's like something going on and obviously I can't, then I can't. But it's one of those things where like that weighs on my character's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
She's started every day for her last. I just have to double check. For her last 20 years, more or less, she started her days like that because she was raised very deeply. So, yeah, her entire life, she started her days like she wasn't always able to transcend, but
right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So that is complete. You receive your spells for the day, and as you finish,
He calls them blessings.
Blessings, excuse me. Yes, you've received your blessings for the day, and your spirit returns back to your body as it had been before. And with that, the sun rises up, and you are ready to make your way to 8 Phoenix Down Street to receive your next mission. All right.
Awesome.
So with that, I suppose we can call it a day. I suppose that's as good a place as any to end our adventure. Thank you for coming with me on this adventure. I'm very excited that we are playing this game. I am so excited that we are playing this game.
Yes.
If I was tweeting about it, I would put hand clap emojis about how excited I am.
Yeah. This game is super cool. I really enjoy the way that you're running this game.
Thank you. If you are watching at home, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye to all of you.